There is. Hi everyone, I'm Ryan. I edit as user Rhododendrites, and I'm going to talk to you about a contest that we recently ran with the local Brooklyn Bird Club. So, and this is of course another Dali image. I looked for a surrealist painting of bird watchers editing Wikipedia, and this is what it came up with, and it seemed perfect. So we're including it here too. So when we think about birds in New York City, we're talking about pigeons then, right? Like that's what we have. Well, Wikipedia is actually a huge birding destination in the country. It's one of the best places to see a wide variety of bird species because it has a variety of different habitats in close proximity. It has it's right along what's called the Atlantic Flyway, which is a migratory route where birds fly south for the winter and north to breed. And we are right in the middle of where they fly through. And we have so few parks, or we have a lot of parks for a city, but we are a city, that it's all gray, and then it's green, and then it's gray, and then it's green. And so all those migrants that are flying over get concentrated into a few parks. And so you can go into, there was a day last spring, or at the fall, when I went to Prospect Park and saw 70 different species of birds in one trip to the park. So birding is big in New York City. So that's just establishing, why are you even doing this? Why are there so many bird organizations in New York City? This is why. There have been more than 400 species seen here ever. In fact, we happen to have an article about birding in New York City. I have a conflict of interest in promoting this today, but it can tell you where some of the locations, some of the species, and it is very long, but somehow not long enough. Brooklyn Bird Club is an organization that's more than 100 years old and does some serious birding events in Brooklyn and beyond. And I have long wanted to figure out a partnership with one of the local birding organizations and reached out to some folks there, and they were game for it. So they invited me to come do a presentation about Wikipedia and Wikimedia back in September, and then we co-hosted a photo contest. And that's what I'm presenting here today, is that after we've done all of the photo contest judging, we now have the winners. So why a photo contest, by the way? So editathons are an easy way for new users to start editing Wikipedia, but it's still a little bit complicated to learn how to edit Wikipedia. And I know that runs contrary to some of the things that we say at these events, but by contrast, if you have photos already, they're really easy to just upload to Wikimedia Commons, and then they find uses from there. They wind up in Wikipedia articles, they wind up beyond the scope of the Wikimedia universe, because outside media outlets wind up turning to Wikimedia Commons to find free media for their publications. So one of the selling points of getting involved that I showed them was that I've just been taking pictures of birds in New York City for a few years now, and if you search for a certain species like a fish crow, photos that I've taken are the default picture on the internet of a fish crow because of that. And there are a few of those. And that feels good as somebody who is not a professional photographer or a professional ornithologist, just kind of a hobbyist who wants people to use their pictures. Not everything is well illustrated. New York City birds are better illustrated than in a lot of other areas, as with everything in New York City and everything in the United States, really.
Is that history of LGBT people?
Yes. Yes. And in fact, the Feminist Bird Club is one of the few bird clubs around here that is probably notable that does not yet have an article. So note for anybody out there. And then also I just wanted it's an easy way to form a connection with an institution that you can then grow in the future. So plant to seed, get people involved with the photos, and then next thing you know, boom, editathons and all sorts of other projects. So the contest had cash prizes. We got 321 entries. And I would thank Jen Kepler of the Brooklyn Bird Club, J.J. Harrison, who is perhaps the preeminent bird photographer on Wikipedia, and Sammy Sirot, who is a Brooklyn-based photographer. So now, the winners. So there are some site-specific categories. It is the Brooklyn Bird Club, after all, and so we have some specific birding locations from Brooklyn. This is a black-crowned night heron with a pond slider, which is the turtle, in Prospect Park. Yellow warbler in Greenwood Cemetery, which is probably my favorite birding spot. A Cassin's kingbird, which is super rare around here in Floyd Bennett Field. Oh, it's getting cut off, so I'll announce the winners. This one was by Hugh Sansom, A. Johnson 0109, and Ryan Candy. And then the last of the site-specific was this. It's just kind of thematic. It's a gull looking out at the Verrazano Narrows Bridge from the Memorial Pier in Bay Ridge. We had a few categories for outside New York City because, of course, Wikipedia benefits from all of these pictures, and so we don't want to just limit it. And second place was this Venezuelan troupial by Fetafet.
And that's second place?
That's second place. First place were these buff-necked ibises from Brazil by Amanda Biescas. All right, so we have there's a reputation of bird photography that is just for people with fancy equipment and giant lenses. So we wanted to have a category for just phone cameras. So we have people taking pictures like through binoculars or through a scope to get a closer look at something. This is in Southampton, some ospreys by Molly Adams, who is the founder of the Feminist Bird Club, by the way. And this puffin won the category by Lauren Neal. Yeah, this one actually would have placed as one of the top overall, I think, if it weren't outside of New York and thus not qualifying. No, this is from Iceland. Yeah. So special prize for common birds, birds that are here all year round. This swan in Prospect Park, I like it. This looks kind of like a dancer. And this tufted titmouse looking spunky by Hugh Sansom and a fire escape in Park Slope. Birds in their habitat. It's red-tailed hawk at Governor's Island at Preeti Desai. And this snowy owl surrounded by dunlins in flights on Breezy Point in Queens. Birds in flight, which are really hard to capture. You get this hummingbird. This is just over in Brooklyn Bridge Park. You don't usually think of that as a wildlife oasis, but there's plenty there. This one by Barbara Shelkiel. And a great blue heron flying over Prospect Park Lake, again by Hugh Sansom. All right, best overall. We have two more left. So coming in second overall is this belted kingfisher, also by Hugh Sansom in Prospect Park. They're really tough to capture. They're really flighty. Like if you get within 100 feet of them, they run away. And then the winner overall is this Nelson sparrow in the Plum Beach Marsh in Brooklyn by Jeremy Nadel. It's a nightmare to photograph anything in grasses and weeds like this. And this is a really uncommon bird done really well. This is already a featured picture. It's the default picture in the Nelson Sparrow article, and probably about 10 other uploads were quality images. So congratulations to the winners. They have won cash prizes. There is some additional on the contest page. There's a link to winners, and I have taken organizers' liberty of choosing some honorable mentions, which you may want to check out. I'm not going to get into here, but thanks to the Brooklyn Bird Club and to all of the participants. And if anybody wants to talk more about running bird contests, or photo contests rather, then yeah, feel free to talk to me sometime. All right, Will.
Wow.
Can you enumerate the cash prizes?
Yeah, they're on the website, which is linked from our main Wiki New York. But the first prize was $250, second prize was $150, and then all of the special categories were first and second of $50 and $25. So they're not huge prizes, but enough to be special. It's like a nice bonus. People are taking these pictures anyway. You might as well have an impact with them and get a few bucks.
Yeah, I could jump on. Is that yours or?
This is mine.
You just go to comment.